All right, good morning. Sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out a new way to make this flow a little bit more, but welcome to Atlanta Family Church prayer vigil. I'm starting, I think my numbers on the days are wrong, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wait off till tomorrow until I figure out the actual days. A little bit off, but I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen in order for us to start with the bio today. All right. All right. Chanjin, Champomunim, Kyombe. Paro. Number one, our family, the honor of Chanoguk, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation by centering on true love. Number two, our family, the honor of Chanoguk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the heavenly parent and true parents. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. 3, our family, the owner of Chanoguk, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. And 4, our family, the owner of Chanoguk, pledges to build a universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the heavenly parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. Number 5, our family, the owner Chanoguk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. Number 6, our family, the owner Chanoguk, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. 7, our family, the owner Chanoguk, pledges through living for the sake of others to perfect the world based on the culture of heart, which is rooted in the original lineage by centering on true love. And number 8, our family, the owner Chanoguk, pledges having entered the era of Chanoguk to achieve the ideal of God and human beings, united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation, complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. And I would like to ask, actually, please join me in prayer. Good morning, Heavenly Parents. Thank you so much for this beautiful day, this beautiful time that are here at the brothers and sisters and the people of the congregation, that we can be able to really pray for this morning, to really start our day off with a really your love in our hearts, and be able to really receive from you, God, this morning. Sometimes we've neglected you in our lives, and sometimes we forget about you in our lives, and sometimes we just don't want you to be in our lives. But God, we really need you. Really being able to have you in our lives, really change our lives to be able to become better. From the time we were little, or time we have didn't have you in our lives, we really missed out on a lot. Really being able to be here in this time that we can have you in our lives, in our mornings. We're just so grateful for everything that you've offered to us and that you've given to us. And now we just pray that we can give everything back to you, Father, to be able to give this world back to you, that we can bring others and really bring people into your love and your embrace, that we can keep fighting for your one family under yourself, Father. Thank you so much for always improving every single one of us and always helping us grow. And sometimes it's tough love, but in many ways it's really something we really need. And so I pray that we can be able to really receive with open arms and become better every single day. So I pray that you can join us this morning in this prayer vigil. We're praying for the name of Dama Nikolak, Pastor Couple. Amen. Aju. All right. And so before we start off the day, we would obviously like to go into gratitude. So I'll see everybody in 7 minutes. 1 moment. Sorry. All right. See you all in 7 minutes. It's open now. I realized I was muted. But yes, YouTube, please feel free to do this as well as yourself at home, with the neighbor or with yourself, just to reflect about your gratitudes this morning. See you in 7 minutes. Good morning. We're already in a breakout room, so I'm going to go ahead and just assign you, all right? Welcome back, everybody. Back to the main room. I hope you guys had a good time in your breakout rooms. We want to just ask two people to share this morning. If we can ask, let's see, Makoko, would you be able to share your gratitude for this morning?
Yeah, good morning, brothers and sisters. Yeah, I was in the break room with Kiyoko-san and Tomomo-san. Yeah, Kiyoko-san was sharing about the time she expended yesterday with her grandchildren on the boat. It was funny, but yeah, so I think she have very good time, all her grandchildren together with four couple. And then I was sharing also that I'm grateful because yesterday I could make it to go to the church, and over there I can meet Osama-san and Sumiko-san to prepare for the Parents' Day today for some stuff we need to put together. And then I could have a chance to go to Chongqing. And then I went out also there, see the choir member who was practicing. And I see the lady who came last Sunday to the church brought by Sister Mary. She was there also, so happy. When she see me, she stand up and hug me. She was very, very happy. Because last Sunday, she watched the power of true love. And then she was in tears. And then I asked her, what do you think? And then she said, oh, I'm scared. I don't want to go back to my marriage. So we start to talk with Brother Boniface and Sister Joy also was there. And then finally, she understand. And in the end, she was like, okay, she will study the divine principle. But she said, okay, I will study, but I don't want to become a member of your church. And then we say, it's okay. You need just to learn, even those ministers in the power of true love, they still with their church, but they need to have this knowledge and share with another people, the member in their church. And then she was okay. So yesterday I saw her, she's so happy. She came with Mary for the choir, came for the choir. She was sitting there with everybody, very good attitude. I think we need to pray for her. Her mind will change because it looked like she like already environment and she like brothers and sisters. And then I'm so grateful for that. And then after that, I have to go out together with Miami and Mioka, go around. I was looking for the car, I didn't find, but I think I enjoy the day together. So this was my gratitude this morning. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Mama Coco. And I'm grateful for one more person really willing to read the DP and really see the truth, like see the truth and see the opening and the doors. And so thank you for so much for that gratitude. I think it gives more life and more hope sometimes when we feel like witnessing is hard. But DP, thank you so much for really helping helping people with learning the DP and everything. So thank you so much, Mama Coco. Very inspirational. Thank you. All right. And I would like to ask Mrs. Ozema if you'd like to share your gratitude as well.
Hi, good morning. I was with Sister Kathleen and the Mackenzies, and everybody grateful to have air conditioning for this hot weather. And the Oglethorpe had 107 degrees yesterday, and myself, I had an experience when I was in Japan. The hot, I'm from Yamagata Prefecture. Until a few years ago, the highest temperature recorded in our prefecture, Yamagata Prefecture, even though it's north of Japan, and when I was Japan, I think 1993, it was so hot and I left my cooked rice out in the kitchen. And then when I came back home, the rice turned to congee. It's a soft rice. I was very surprised that anyhow. And yesterday, my mother-in-law called by Zoom. The line. She looks so fine, and then she's happy with my sister-in-law. She's really taking care of her mother, and they're worried about my mother is in hospital for appendix, and I feel it's more, contact between families, and I'm so happy. I'm grateful and people thinking each other with the love. Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you. And we wish your mother well in the hospital, correct? And yes, thank you, Ozama-san, for your sharing. And I do agree. I don't know if everyone knows, but we finally found a place. As you know, the background has changed. It is not the church. And we are also very grateful that this place came with an AC. I think that's very important in these past few days. We had almost nothing in here, but one thing we did have was AC. So that was really nice. So I do agree with that one. So thank you so much, Ozama-san. I think that's a very good gratitude point. Really to keep us going, to be honest. It's actually very important. All right. And so thank you, Mama Coco and Mrs. Ozama, for this morning's your sharings. So today, I just found out, actually, I might have already said this day past, so I apologize, but today is actually day 54. So we just crossed, 10 days, I think, since Damien changed it to Prayer Vigil. But yeah, so today is day 54. 9 days. No. Yeah, 9 days. So 10 days, I think, is tomorrow. Let me just go ahead and jump into the reading for today. Give me 1 second. All right, and then I think Kimura-san, if you can help me with the page, I think I'm missing. I forgot which page it is. I don't remember if it was
298.
It is 298. Okay, I wasn't missing that out. Was it Love and Service in South America?
No, actually, it was before that. I blessed Japan.
I blessed Japan. Okay. All right. So we're just at, just 2 paragraphs. Okay. I bless Japan to now rise as heavenly Japan, a Japan in which society and culture are reborn. Tens of thousands of Japanese men and women have found new life in the bosom of God through true parents. Every year, many of them cross the Korea Strait to visit the homeland of their faith. This convergence of members make our HJ Chunwon campus a bridge of harmony between 2 former enemy nations. My heart is especially with Japan during natural disasters and other difficult times. During the great earthquake of Tohoku, the Kumamoto earthquakes, and the floods in Okayama prefecture. Countless lives were lost and the damage was overwhelming. When such calamities occur, I offer my condolences and wholehearted support. In the context of God's global providence, true parents bless Japan as the mother nation. A mother gives everything in her children to her children unconditionally, just as mother goes without sleep to take care of her children. Japan is walking the path of sacrifice with the heart of a mother for the sake of the world. As a mother nation, Japan is dedicated to live for the sake of the world. Love and service in South America. We are probably worse off than Africa, lamented many of the locals in South America, to whom I asked. Even though we have many resources and so-called democratic institutions, our lives are very poor. The continent of South America, like Africa, has a history of grief, exploitation, and poverty. It was occupied for over 300 years by powerful European countries that subjugated its people and appropriated its gold, silver, and other resources. Moreover, the Europeans introduced foreign diseases that decimated native populations who had no immunity to these germs. In the early 19th century, South America countries fought for and finally attained their independence. And many sought to establish democracies, but too often government became riddled with corruption. And later, communist and fascist movements arose and used people's resentments to prop up harsh dictatorships. All of this meant that untold millions of people suffered and died through human cruelty. The first thing I did whenever I got off an airplane on South America was offer a prayer to liberate and comfort the anguish of those people in the spirit world. Despite their miserable hardships, I have seen that South American people lead decent and honest lives, working hard for even a little improvement. They also have a very strong faith in God. Much of the continent is rich with potential, as natural resources are abundant and weather is temperate. Moreover, South America is a gift from God, in that it possesses a large areas of unspoiled nature. Anyone who goes to South America will feel a deep affinity to the vast land, abundant natural beauty, and kind and pleasant people. In South America, my husband and I offered continual prayer and devotion, which we call Jansang. My husband's visit to 5 Latin American nations in 1965 were the first footsteps of a unification church on that continent. In the decades that followed, our missionaries established foundations throughout Central and South America, building churches, witnessing and increasing our membership, working for healthy marriages and families, and connecting these nations to global efforts for peace and reconciliation. Most South Americans are Catholic, while Protestantism is growing there as well. And as well with other people of the world, Latin Americans are open to explore new paths, ways of relating to God, and we spread the divine principle teachings with all our heart. The most influential project we invested in there was the educational project we called Causa. Father Moon and I created Causa in the 1980s because Marxist revolutionaries in Central and South America was gaining influence. For a time, it seemed the entire continent might become communist. We knew that if Mexico became communist, the United States would have to withdraw its troops from around the world to protect its southern border. Now, this withdrawal of U.S. troops would have allowed communism evil influence to spread in many countries, including South Korea and Japan. Now, the Causa lectures provided a clear critique and counterproposal to communism to thousands of leaders and young people in Latin America and elsewhere in the world. Through this educational series, many former and current national leaders rejected communist ideologies and deceitful calls for revolution. My husband and I conducted the True Parents and the Complete Testament Age, speaking tour of 6 Latin American nations in 1993, and the True Family and I speaking tour of 17 Latin American nations in 1995. This is very important, yeah. During those tours, we met the presidents of 8 nations. Each of them thanked my husband and me for halting the advance of communism in their country. On that foundation, we created economic projects to connect Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil, and Argentina with the aim of bringing South America together as one family of nations. The original beauty of Mother Nature. Our motorboat, which was basically a rowboat with an engine, noisily chugged its way across the deep blue Paraguay River. Halfway across, one passenger suddenly stood up, and the boat rocked wildly from side to side. The other passengers cried out, fearing the boat would capsize. Just as everyone settled back down, someone yelled, "Aye, what's that?" Before our eyes, a bizarre-looking fish jumped high out of the water and landed on the deck. There, flopped around in the hot sun, jerking its salmon-sized body and gnashing its dozen of razor-sharp teeth. The frightened passengers moved away from it. Protecting their legs as boatmen calmly picked it up and a long stick and tossed it back in the river. "It looks sticky. What is it called?" someone asked. "It is a dorado," he said, Spanish for golden. The dorado is one of the countless species of fish peculiar, specific to the waters of Mato Grosso do Sul. The Paraguay River, which forms the border between Brazil and Paraguay, is abundant not only in such fish, but in every kind of living organism. In the regions of South America that are near the equator, the weather is either a warm springtime or a hot summer. Flowers are constantly in bloom, and fruits is abundant for picking. It is a pleasure land for human habitation and harmonious coexistence with the animal and plant life. If paradise on earth is defined by having many different creatures living together in a lush green garden, Mara do Sol belongs in that paradise. Its vast territory is covered by virgin forest and wetlands. It is ideal for cultivating a farm or caring for an orchid. Enormous trees provide shelter and sustenance for many kinds of birds, insects, and animals. The rivers are clean, and some of them are quite clear. There are more than 20 waterfalls, including the famous Iguazu Falls, that thunders where Brazil meets Argentina. Even though it was South America's hottest season, December, we brought our senior missionaries from around the world to experience a fishing workshop in the Paraguay River. As the sun blazed on those days, local people would wade into the river and lie in the water to cool off. Watch us curiously while we fished. Now, as beautiful as the Pantanal was, one had to be careful at all times. We would take a boat on the river, dock it, and explore the countryside. Sometimes we could barely get through tangles of vines hanging down from enormous trees, and we'd have to crawl on all our bellies. We often would not return to the boat until midnight. We would rely on steel cable stretched out through the forest to guide us back in the dark. When we rose before dawn every day to continue, we again would deal with sweltering heat and swarms of mosquitoes. It was a strenuous routine. My most difficult task was bathing. I would awkwardly put up screen for privacy in the narrow boat, so I could wash myself with the murky river water, but I actually welcomed such primitive conditions in nature. Let's just finish off this paragraph. We built a headquarters for global education near the town of Jardim, called the Headquarters for the Education of Ideal Families for World Peace, and set up the New Hope Forum to establish a foundation to build God's nation. It is a town in Mato Grosso do Sul, state in southwestern Brazil. Jardim's townsfolk told us that the old prophecy predicted that the town Jardim was a place where the Lord would come. The first time Father Moon and I went to Jardim was in late 1994, when we held our first leaders workshop there. The training center was a rundown storehouse without even bathrooms or kitchen. I cannot begin to describe how uncomfortable it was, but we brought our leaders to such a place for experiential education. It was a workshop of heart, during which participants breathed the warm air and sweated without reserve as they read God's words in the early morning and fished amid the unpopulated and pure original creation. Over the years, we developed the Jardim site into a lovely farm, a family retreat center. Surrounding it, we invested in a New Hope Farm. Unificationist missionaries and members from around the world moved there, and with the vision of restoring the Garden of Eden that God created the beginning. We built our community in Jardim with the school so that families from all around the world would be able to experience God's love while living in beautiful nature. We donated ambulances to the town, farmed and raised cattle, and improved the livelihoods of the local people. 1990s, thousands of our members from around the world spent 40 days in study, prayer, and recreation in the natural beauty of New Hope Farm outside of Jardim. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end there. So I think the beginning path was just talking about really trying to take out communism within the borders of Mexico, or just Mexico in general, and as well as just South America. And CAUSA was a very big aspect of that, because I don't know if anyone knows, but with Russia, the aftermath of what happened to Russia was very bad. You can tell that the people were not taken care of, and of course, even during Russia's reign of the Soviet Union, it really was a treacherous place to be. In the Soviet Union, it wasn't beautiful at all, and even afterwards, you can tell that they didn't know how to take care of their people. And some people still find this as an ideology that they want to follow, communism, right? But as we know, that it's really a place that is trying to dethrone God from their theology and trying to really take the care of others away just to please the few that are on top, right? Even though it has a nice aspect to it, yeah, it's really disastrous. So when it came to just taking that out of it, yeah, I'm really actually grateful for what Mother said, is that, you know, putting that into the theology of young leaders and people that should know about the treacheries of so the Soviet Union or just communism in general and how bad it could have been. So I'm grateful for that. And then of course Jardim was another aspect of this, just a beautiful culture that was kind of built in South America, and being able to just start from I've seen some members that come back from there and they had basically started from nothing and really started to build a town after that. So it's a very beautiful establishment after a while. So all right. And I'm going to take our times to go into our breakout rooms to talk a little bit more about the reading today. So we'll see you all in 7 minutes. Those on YouTube, same thing. Find time to reflect. If you have the pages at home, actually, it's the most ideal thing that you could do right now is to reread it. If you miss something, if you feel like you want to go over it again, this is a perfect time to do that as well. So please feel free to reread the passage or do anything you like with this conversation that you're going to have with hopefully your neighbor or just reflecting on it. So we'll see you in 7 minutes. All right, welcome back, everybody. Go back to the main room. And so we're gonna go ahead and just ask two people to share their reflections from the room. All right, and first person I would like to ask is Mrs. Mr. Bornface. Would you be able to share this morning?
Thank you. We were sharing with the Mama Coco two other sisters, I shared about Kausa. You know, in the early days, when you joined the church, most of the members were, we had a class like for VOC, Victory Over Communism, and the Kausa, the movement which taught members how communism brainwashed people to believe that is an ideology which was founded for the sake of other people. At that time, in the communism people, the way the communal means coming together, uniting together. And most of the African countries, when they saw communism, by that time, China and Russia, these people used to wear khaki uniforms. Everybody wear khaki. Nobody was supposed to wear a suit and a tie. They used to call the bourgeoisies of that time. You can't do that. So communism on the eyes of people looked like it worked for the betterment of the people. But in the really actual fact, it was really ripping people all out. But in order for you to understand it, we introduced the classes of Kausa and VOC to overcome communism. Communism was number one enemy of God at that time. For example, North and South Korea, where true parent was the Messiah in the South, and in North Korea, the other guy was Kim. It was also the satanic Messiah. It was the front line of God and Satan in the 30-degree parallel. They really fought so hard. And when you look at that time, they used to elect president who were so old, probably 90 years old. He would become a president of China and so on, because he's already brainwashed. He knows he lived his life trying to brainwash people, getting money from people, letting everybody work. Few people got money, had a good place. So communism in the face of people was a wonderful thing, but it was something which really changed people's mind, brainwashed people, fought underground silently. But when they hear that you are talking against communism, they would catch you, even kill your family at that time. So now when we see communism, we feel like now it has been a bit diluted, but at that time, nobody would say any word. They would kill the entire family based on communism. Thank you.
Thank you. And like you said, it was very much, if you hear the ideology, it's just everybody has to be the same. I'm going to try to stop myself real quick because I think at some point I'm going to go on about communism as well. But I think the basic premise of communism for a lot of people were that it's going to better your life. Yeah. So they had this facade, right, of communism. So it's really something trying to trick people, like Lucifer was trying to trick Adam and Eve that this is okay to do, or this is all right to do. So it's like, in this case, it was really people kind of with communism. Communism was trying to sneak into people's lives, and they try to make it look good, but it really wasn't. It's a small time gratification, and then realizing in the long run, it really is going to hurt you. So, all right. So thank you, Mr. Moreface, for your sharing this morning. I also wanted to ask, Mrs. Grice, if you would like to share this morning.
Yeah, I come from a country, France, where there is the foundation of the development of the communist ideology through the French Revolution. And the history of the French Revolution, and also I think always when communism takes root, is that basically it's not only people are dissatisfied, it's also that people who normally are responsible to do God's will don't do it. So in the case of France, it was Christianity, aristocracy. they did not take care of people who were suffering. So on that foundation, communist ideology developed. Of course, you know that communist ideology is not good and is destructive. But I think also we need to remember our own responsibility, you know, that if we are in the position of, you know, a representative religion or God, then we need to do our responsibility of taking care also, you know, those who don't have or who are suffering, so that this doesn't happen again, because it always happens like that. Like the history of communism, always it develops on the foundation of dissatisfaction, or sometimes very, you know, bad situations where there's actually no help for people, and people die with resentment. So that's my takeaway today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Chris. That's a great point. We shall not just talk about it. We should also actionize on it and really talk and really help people that are not aware, or help people that are in suffering, and be able to really kind of be the people that are. We're in an able position. We should be a good able. You know, we should be a place where we're actually representing God's side. Fulfill our responsibility for the people that don't know any better either. So, you know, I think it's sneaking in, kind of like what Mr. Bornface said. It's diluted, so it's kind of it's become hard to tell people that this is the same thing as communism. But yeah, you're right. Really being able to talk to people about it that have been swayed in the wrong direction is a very good actionizing step as well. So thank you, Mrs. Grice, and thank you, Mr. Bornface, for this morning and your sharing. So we're going to go ahead and just jump into our song for today. And from there we can continue on. Let's try this. Hope it's not that works. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna do something a little bit different, but it's. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, this is it. This is the right one. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit different, but yeah.
Here we stand together, one in our humanity, for we all come from the Father, we are one family.
It's our school of love and peace, where we've learned there's a way for to live in harmony, and together we all say, this is where peace begins. Here we sow the seeds of love. It all starts with our knowing we are one family. We are one family under God. Not just body but spirit. On and on we try to be people who live for others. For love knows no boundary. Neither race nor religion, no barriers can keep us apart. Forgiveness, true understanding. This is how it all starts. This is where peace begins. Here we sow the seeds of love. It all starts with our knowing we are one family. We are one family under God. Under God, we are one. This is where peace begins. Here we sow the seeds of love. It all starts with our knowing we are one family. We are one family under God. Here we sow the seeds of love. It all starts with our knowing we are one family. We are one family. We are one family. We are one family under God. We are one family. We are one family under God.
Say, God will bless you. And I say, I cover myself with the blood of Jesus. And he cut off his phone. Do you know why he cut off his phone? Because I covered myself with the blood of Jesus. Alrighty. So it was actually, I think, from the Global Peace Festival as well. So it's a very beautiful piece. But okay, I just wanted to try something a little bit different from Elliot Batch. So I think that was a good piece. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into our 7-minute prayer. So please unmute and we shall pray out.
Our most beloved Heavenly Father,
So much
Father
for
God,
this moment we're here with
thank you so much for reading this passage, sharing by our true mother,
We'll be able to hear
the experiences, how to overcome
pray that you can be with
so
us.
many things.
There are so
And
many
then
things.
Be able
everything,
to
the
change ourselves and
experiments
improve
in the
ourselves
South
in
America,
society,
Father God,
become better for
the desire to transform, to change the
communism
environment,
is a
to
type of
make it always
that we
be
are
so beautiful,
trying to fight,
bring them
trying to
to original state when
pull
God
away
wants.
from God, pull into a
And then
section.
we want to inherit this
They're missing the point. They're missing the
make it
direction.
always everything nice.
Really, there is.
Love every
We pray
parents
that you
that
can be able
our
to
environment can look good. And
pray that we
that's
can be
the
able
way
to
we can
help
establish the kingdom of God.
Your
While we're
parents,
starting by our heart, we
so you are
need to
always
externalize
more
everything
deep in the heart.
Thank
from
you
us.
for you for a
To
lot of
see that you are
They change
they don't understand.
the kingdom of God by their
even
heart
though
and mind.
as opposed to by
We
as
can
Adam
see
and Eve,
the example of
and
what
then
Father wanted to
We
put
pray
in
that
you have
church.
to
Father, to
And then
taking
now
accomplish
what
our
our two
ideals,
parents
Heavenly
doing
Father.
in Las
Father,
Vegas.
it's not an easy
Change
task, Father, to
everything,
your
walk in
heart
beloved
this
was
path.
parents.
We really pray,
And then
Father,
we
to
pray at that
we
moment,
be able to
in this
charge
Heavenly
time
others,
of
Father,
full good,
we
help
become
that
them
we
as
can
we have
raise
not
our
known.
man,
we
beloved
see
We
parents,
all
are, Father, in charge.
kind of taking
Taking over
responsibility,
the
suffering,
responsibility as a
realize
temple of
see
their
all
family, Father.
our
Father,
mistake
thank you
everything they
so
can
and
much
do.
our
that you
suffering.
gave us
And we can see
to
everything,
understand
Heavenly
the
Parent,
truth,
the
Father. You gave us
perspective
wisdom.
today,
of restoration.
all
Really
the
pray
people
Love every
towards
parents, Father
understanding
God,
who
our true parents.
while we're
boldly
restoring the
Pray this
go
to our
forward,
ancestors.
everything we need.
rebuilding things,
We did so
They
many
can
things
share
and
with
for
us
behind the
ourselves.
ownership
They reflect
and
in our
sacrifice
the
life
wisdom,
immediately.
Father,
and
really,
And
everything
we want to
really
have
sacrifice.
have
the
Just
determination to
boldly to
overcome
start
everything.
and the building
They
really
have
pray
things.
compassion to honor
that
them.
together we can
I'm sure
And
they
they
have so
see
many
how the Spirit
obstacles.
of
be able to
is
People
so
around
heavy to
them,
restore
they
the
say,
problem of
Mother,
our
it is not
ancestors.
the right thing
The
to
beloved
do,
parents give
and
us the
better
together,
heart
do
of
Father,
this
we
love,
way
can build
and that
victory.
way.
the heart of compassion,
Father, thank you.
is
Many people
Really give you
perseverance,
supporting
all the
your
glory.
that we
direction
can make it one
and
day. Doesn't matter
misunderstanding
how is
your
the
direction.
condition in what we find ourselves.
Heavenly
Love
Parent,
parents,
but
thank you for
still
this
have a
reading
good
of
faith,
our true mother.
Fighting you.
And
but
then
has to be
we
done.
can see they did
But the
everything
direction we
together
must
with
American.
Father, beloved parents.
Heavenly
Now,
Parent,
Father
Father,
is
we really
spiritual,
pray.
we don't
the
want to make
mother on the
mistakes.
earth.
We can
She's
really
They
trying to
should
connect everything
translate
like a mother,
pray.
clean
to
up
see
their
where they
house,
do not
organize everything.
and you need
We want
the
beloved
direction.
parents to unite with
When
her,
the
Father
mother is
God,
difficult to
that
adjust
we
to
can
and
be
guide them,
able to the end to finish
that's the right
all
way.
the providence of restoration now
And
started on our true
it's a
mother.
fallen people,
Beloved parents,
unpredictable,
thank you so much
and we
again
cannot trust her completely.
for the life you give to
We
us.
can trust Heavenly
That
Parent.
today we can
Sometimes
give us every single thing
Love you so much.
of the providence
our
of
way
all our pain,
is our
that our true
idea
mother can be
and
comfortable,
our thinking,
that we can win
our
the
way of
victory,
doing.
Right.
night, north, and
Give us
south.
Just
Prayer,
unite
beloved
help,
the
parents.
two mothers
I pray
and
for
direction
all
and
our
ideas.
leadership, that you can give them the
Heavenly
wisdom
Parent,
to embrace the vertical line.
Father.
That all of us,
we
Father God,
pray
we can
all our
give
brothers
everything and
to
the
make our
direction you
moves
give to us. In this
all
community
to
of
make
Atlanta,
victory
beloved parents,
all
we want
people again.
to break down all the negative
To
memory,
come back.
beloved parents, then overcome
Also
all our
pray
burden
for the
of
Christian
our ancestors
who
we
suffer for
restoring.
thousand
And they
years
admit
is
that
a
we
sake
have
of two
problem and
meetings
change
and
it.
to come.
Beloved parents, they remove the
Because many
dream and they
people
another
join the
is centered
Christian
on our pride
with
and
against
arrogance. Father God, we
and
want to
centering their
become in
desires and their
reality
wishes.
and understand and take
Are
responsibility
united.
to overcome
Just
and do
decide.
everything right
Just
and
give to
correct
the
everything
parents
we did wrong.
that he had
Love
the
even
mission
parents, we want to
to
repent
continue to lift them
because
up
we delay
in the
your
school
providence many
campus
times.
Heavenly Parent.
And then we waste time for the thing we
Now
don't
the
have enough
Christianity
value.
has to come together
We
from the
waste
start.
time, we make you
Thank
cry,
you,
we
Jesus.
neglect you
And the
because
guidance
we focus
and they can be
all
directed
time
correctly.
in the thing was not connected in your
They
direction.
needed to
The Father
have
God, now
sincere
in this
devotion
spiritual
in the
world,
direction
we
of
want to
God
thank you,
and
Mother.
Jesus.
She's
They
coming to
can
bless
receive some kind,
us with love
some guidance
and brings Tricky with us, now we
make families strong,
to understand
individuals
what we're supposed to do,
find
and
a
where we're supposed to be.
bring
Instead to put
highest
our feet
answer
in what we need to focus the most to restore this world. Love everybody. Thank you so much for to bring us in the early moment when we joined the church. We didn't have ambition personally. We just we want to do for our two parents to build the world. But now, Father God, many things change. Mother is saying now, no position, no position. I want to just listen. I want to change the environment. Then we want to unite with that and then we no more celebration, but we want substantially the thing we need every day is our transformation, witnessing, changing environment, and have this kingdom of God when we are in our life. Lord, vivid parents, thank you for Sister Diana coming here to Joseph. We want to really be love vivid parents together, support our we can go love vivid parents. That we don't give them burden, but we want to just bring it to the thank you so much, everything I offer to you.
Santa bless
even though we are
All right. Thank you, everybody, for today. And thank you for the prayer vigil day number 54. We're very grateful for everybody here. So announcements, I think everybody knows at this point, but Parents' Day is today. So please join today at 4 p.m. at the church. And if you haven't registered, register already. I know it's kind of already last minute saying that, but it's really important to be able to register, I think, beforehand too, if you haven't already. So today's Parents' Day and Parents' Day celebration, and we're just very grateful for that day. So thank you to all the parents. Thank you for always being parents for us. And sometimes we're not biologically related. I know we always feel like you guys are parents to us. So thank you. And then for this upcoming week, we hope to also advertise a little bit more about the sports fest that's happening next week on the 23rd. So please join us on the 23rd that we're going to have this picnic. We're not going to have it. We're not going to have church service at the church. We're going to have church service at the picnic. So this will be hopefully a quarterly thing where we are celebrating outside in God's nature, but also it's going to be in Stone Mountain, so it's a lot closer to a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys I know live in Lawrenceville, so it's a lot closer to you guys. We just want to make it a little bit easier for you guys to actually not have to drive an hour to get down to church. So this is a perfect time to join us for physical service. So yeah, we'll see you next week for that instance. And of course, we're going to see you today. And hopefully, actually, me and my wife, I think we've been so busy moving in this week. We didn't get the chance to actually go to the church this week. Sad. We wanted to go to the Chenshin one this week, but we haven't done that. So just wanted to repent for that and just tell everybody about it. But anyway, so thank you, everybody, for really working hard this past week. And we're going to go ahead and see you today at Sunday service. So, all right. Have a good one, everybody. See you soon. It's the end of our prayer ritual. God bless everybody.
See you soon,
Have
Pastor.
a good day, everybody.
See you soon.
See you.